Hey gang, welcome back to my channel. I'm Moriarty, this is Unabridged, and today we're going to talk about my April book haul. So yes, I know it's only like the 12th of April, but I've already bought 6 books, and I'm currently reading one of them, so we'll see how this goes. Let's talk about the books that I picked up. All of these books are from Barnes & Noble. The first book I want to talk about is called Falling Toward the Moon by Robert M. Drake and R.H. Sin. The back just says you must fall before you land. I believe it's a poetry book. I've only read a couple poetry books, and both of them were by... I read 2 poetry books, and they were both by this author here, Milk and Honey, and then the follow-up to this. I loved the poetry in this, and it made me want to read more poetry novels, and then I saw this. And I was like, oh, it's kind of cute. I haven't come across any illustrations yet, but I'm about that way through. I started it today. And it's just little, like, short poetries and blurbs. And I'm excited to see what they talk about. The next book I picked up is kind of small. Hello, Mama-chan. Thanks so much for joining us. And it's called The Thing She's Seen by Anne Boleyn and Ezekiel Quemolina. And the front says, does only the beginning. And I actually have that tattooed on me, so I had to pick it up. The back says, a fire of unknown origin. Hi, Moma-chan. Unknown origin and a dead body charred beyond recognition ought to set off some alarms, but the local police deem it a tragic accident and want to move on. The only ones investigating are Beth Teller and her father, and no one's listening to Beth. Well, no one can actually hear Beth aside from her father, not since she died. But Beth is still here, and she sees things and people that others miss, like Isabel Catching, a potential witness. Aboriginal by birth, like Beth, Isabel seems lost and isolated in the world, and the riddles she speaks in, tales of glass-eyed monsters and stolen girls, are easily disregarded. It will be up to Beth to see the truth, and to convince her father that something dark lies deep in the heart of this Australian town. Excited about that. Super short. It weighs in at 193 pages. The next book I picked up is by Joelle Charbonneau, and it's called Timeball. And the back says, 6 students, 1 school, and time is running out. Diana, Frankie, Tad, Kaz, and Z, and Rashid couldn't be more different. But before the morning's over, all 6 have one thing in common. They're trapped in a school that's been rocked by a bombing. When they hear on the radio that the bomber's still inside, they must decide whether they'll turn on one another or work together to get out alive. Told from multiple perspectives, this emotional thriller from the author of the heart-pounding Testing trilogy keeps you guessing until the final pages. Who is the real culprit, and what sparked the time bomb that had been waiting to go off? And one of the reviews said a keenly crafted thriller, so excited about that. This boy is a little chunky, and he comes in at 340 pages. The next book I picked up is by Jessie Q. Sutanto, and if that sounds familiar, they are the author of The Obsession. Haven't read it, but it's been on my library list for a while, so once it comes in, hopefully I'll get around to it. The front cover says she's a liar, a cheater, a murderer, and it's only her first semester. And I love that it's got like a pen, and then it's like a scalpel knife guy. And then the back says, in a deadly game of cat and mouse, no one wants to be the prey. Leah Setiawan is the new girl at school. After getting over the shock that she's won a full ride to the prestigious Draycott Academy on a track scholarship, Leah is determined to make it work, even though she's never felt more out of place in a school full of students who have private planes, designer drugs, and bags that cost more than her car. But Draycott isn't as shiny and beautiful as the brochures say. There's something rotten at its core, something that is already starting to corrupt Leah. When a dead girl is discovered in the classroom of the teacher who is determined to see Leah fail, she tries to get to the bottom of what could have happened. But as Leah digs deeper into Draycott's secrets, she realizes everyone in her life and at the school had something to hide. If she doesn't learn how to beat them at their own twisted game, she'll be the next girl to wind up dead. And this one is a little bit thicker, and it comes in at 150 pages. Now, the next two books and the last two books are part of a series by the same author, Mindy McGinnis. The first one is called The Initial Insult, and it looks like this, and it's a beautiful cover. And then the second one is called The Last Laugh, and it looks like this, and it's a beautiful cover. And yeah, so let's figure out what these are about. I picked this up solely on this review, so if James Patterson lied, we gonna have to fight. Like, we're gonna have words. But it basically says, if Edgar Allan Poe came back to write the scariest high school murder story ever, it probably wouldn't be as half as good as Mindy McGinnis's The Initial Insult. I mean, that's huge praise, so I picked it up. But the book is actually about this. Tress Montour's family used to mean something, until she didn't have a family anymore. When her parents disappeared 7 years ago while driving her best friend home, Tress lost everything. Felicity Tornado has it all: looks, money, and a secret. One misstep could send her tumbling from the top of the social ladder, and she's worked hard to make everyone forget that she was with the monsters the night they disappeared. Felicity has buried what she knows so deeply that even she can't remember what it is. But Tress has a plan. A Halloween costume party at an abandoned house provides the ideal situation for Tress to pry the truth from Felicity, brick by brick, as she slowly seals her former best friend into a coal chute. Tress will have her answers, or settle for revenge. Okay, so now we've got like a retelling of The Cask of Amontillado, and I'm here for it. The sequel to this, The Last Laugh, I should read what this is about because I feel like it's going to continue and I will spoil myself. These are the books that I picked up for the month of April. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Moriarty. This is Unabridged, and I have a lot of books that I bought this Saturday with my cousin. I'll put her YouTube channel right here, and I'm gonna put them away on this bookshelf. I've had this bookshelf for a long time, but my studio slopes, and I didn't think that I was going to be able to put it in here or do anything with it, but alas, it fits perfectly in this one area, so I'm gonna use that. I do have some space towards the bottom of my bookshelf on my pink shelf, but my cats are really weird and they like lay in it, and I don't want them to like damage my books trying to lay in the bottoms of my bookshelves, so I figured I would get a brand new one and hopefully just fill up the top so I can leave those empty and I don't have to worry about the cats destroying my books. So I figured it would be kind of fun to do like a time lapse setting up my book shelf kind of thing, seeing as I don't really do a lot of those. So you can see like a good portion of it, but I'm just gonna turn it. Yeah. So you can like see it as I put stuff away, and then yeah, just kind of like a little vlog, get my bookshelf ready for view kind of deal. So come join me. So these books are from Half Price Books and Barnes & Noble. They were bought on the 16th of April. They are part of an April book haul, but I already filmed my April book haul because I thought I was only going to buy books once this month, and then turns out that my cousin was really into books and that's all she wanted for her birthday, so we took her book shopping. Of course, I couldn't resist the books, so I also got the books, and here we are. So yeah, I guess we just hop into it and we'll go from there, I guess. Okay, get rid of this evidence, this receipt. No one can know how much I spent. Like, these are books from Half Priced. So this is Paris to Die For by Maxine Kenneth, and it's basically as if Jackie O was First Lady of Mystery for the CIA. I got it on clearance, so we're just gonna put her right there. She looks pretty. Warlock Holmes. This is book 2, The Hellhound of the Baskervilles by G.S. Denning. I have the first one. I'm about halfway through. But when I saw that they had the second one, I was like, oh, I can't leave that behind. The next book is The Dante Club by Matthew Pearl. And it says, The Dante Club is a carefully plotted, imaginatively shaped, and stylistically credible whodunit of unusual class and intellect. The writing is passionate, and the narrative is driven. So, it sounded good to me. And that is by Matthew Pearl. I think I said that already. And it is called Consensual Hex. It's a novel by Amanda Harlow. And I don't know what it's about, but I picked it up off of this quote right here. Gloriously angry and deliciously weird, Consensual Hex is oh so satisfying. A tale of rage and revenge that's delivered with both heart and savage wit. Darker than a midnight sky on a new moon, I devoured it in a single breathless gulp. So I'm excited for that. This is our first hardback, so I guess I'll put that up there. Oh, that fits like perfectly. I could not leave it behind. It's called The Cat Who Saved Books by Sosuke Natsukawa. That's what it looks like. Like, the cover alone is so pretty. So I'm very excited. It's another hardback, so we'll put it up there. Whoop. Book I have is If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio, and I actually got this book from the library and started reading it, and then it went back, so I'm going to see if I can figure out where I was and go from there. Okay, then the next book I got is Perish Twice by Robert B. Parker, and I mean, I didn't really need anything else. A title like Perish Twice sounds amazing. A Sunny Randall novel, and she's supposed to be a dope detective, so I am very excited. Yeah, she is a Boston PI, and I'm very stoked. Baby paperback. The next book is Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. I read this. I loved this. I actually have a review of it up on Goodreads, but I read it from the library and I never got my own edition, so now I have one of my own, and I think I'll put it right next to If We Were Villains. Oh, it's even taller than If We Were Villains, so we'll go here. Okay. Anatomy, a Love Story. Oh, my books are falling. By Dana Schwartz, and it looks like this. And it is gorgeous. And it is about it's a gothic tale full of mystery and romance. Hazel Sennett is a lady who wants to be a surgeon more than she wants to marry, and Jack Currer is a resurrection man who's just trying to survive in a city where it's too easy to die. So I'm excited about that, and it's hardback, so we'll put it up there with them. The clearance section as well, The Indian Mummy Mystery by Troy Nesbitt. Hella old, but I was like, oh, it's giving me like Hardy Boys vibes, so figured that I would get it. It was less than $1. 280 pages. It's very yellow and it smells like an old book. Yeah, it doesn't even have a publishing date in it. It's a Whitman Publishing Company from Racine, Wisconsin. Yeah, but there's literally no date on when it was published. Wow. Okay. Well, I'll have to do a little bit more research in it. Technically, it's a hardback, so it'll go up there. Poetry. I've been getting into reading more poetry lately, so this is Views of Jeopardy by Jack Gilbert. It is super tiny, but I'm very excited to read it. We'll put it with the paperbacks. This one is Soft Thorns by Bridget DeVoe, and this is also poetry. And it says, the poetry living within these pages tells stories of love and heartbreak, freedom and oppression, sexual assault and sexism, hope and humanity. Our darkest times are where we learn how to heal. So here are some of mine. So I'm very excited to read that. Put that with our hardbacks. Another poetry book, How to Cure a Ghost by Faria Roizen, I think. But this is a debut collection of poetry, fearlessly illuminating experiences as a young queer Muslim femme navigating the vibrant, intimate joys and paralyzing obstacles of her intersectionality. She writes fearlessly about the pain and strength required to reach the ever-elusive idea of self-acceptance. Put that up there with our paperbacks. It's in Noble. And this is the Noodle Shop Mystery by Vivian Chen. And I picked up Death by Dumpling, which looks like this. Dim Sum of All Fears. And Murder Lemaine. So I'm very excited to start these. Okay. Let's see. These guys are small, so we'll do some of these. This, which is Scout is Not a Band Kid by Jade Armstrong. I'm letting you know right now, if you like graphic novels and you love adorable female protagonists, this is the graphic novel for you. Like, I finished this in a day. I was absolutely addicted. It gave me enough band nostalgia to actually go back and play my flute, which I have not touched in 12 years. And just a heads up, muscle memory does not go away. I have not touched a flute in 12 years, and I still like mentally remember the B flat major scale, and my fingers remember for my flute. Like, I literally played it not an hour ago for the first time in like 12 years, automatically, without fail. It was amazing. And this book did that for me. So definitely check it out. Super adorable. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. Oh, 5 stars. This is the first book that I finished for the month of April. I know we're in our like last week, but it's okay. I'm gonna get a couple more books done. But this one, 5 stars, chef's kiss. Boom. We're gonna put that up there with our other graphic novel, and then we will put, well, I guess I didn't get as many books as I thought I did. What is 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I picked up 17 books. Yeah, I guess I didn't get as many books as I thought I did. Oh well. But yeah, so this is me putting my books away. Probably move some of my books that are in other hauls or just stacked on top of each other over here as well, just so that they look a little bit better. But yeah, so that was me putting my books on my new bookshelf. I did like the first 2, you probably can't see that actually. I did the first 2 shelves. And yeah. Thanks for listening to me ramble about the books that I bought. But yeah, if I happen to grab any more books, I will gladly tell you about them. But this is my April book haul so far. I'm super excited to read these 2 books in particular because I love Edgar Allan Poe. And I can't wait to see what she does with his work. So these are the books that I got in the month of April. Thanks so much for listening to me ramble about books, as always. I'm Moriarty. This is Unabridged, and I'll see you next time. Bye!